Hello, fellow YouTubers and wrestling fans around the world. My name is George Torres, and I just kind of wanted to take a moment, not to cut a promo necessarily, but to talk about the Hall of Fame induction 2014, which happened yesterday. That's available on the WWE Network. I actually didn't get to see the whole thing last night because I did end up going out, but I did just finish watching the whole thing right now, and I must say it was pretty heart touching. Like it was it was one of those inductions where you get to realize the ins and outs of what happens in the business. Like they blur the lines, they break down that fourth wall, and they're pretty much acknowledging that this is all make believe, which we all know. But it was very refreshing to see some of these people be inducted. We got to see Lita, we got to see the Ultimate Warrior, Mr. T, Scott Hall or Razor Ramon. Who else did we see there? Oh, Paul, the late great Paul Bearer. You know what I mean? They actually inducted him as well. Um, Carlos Colon. Just seeing all these people get inducted. Jake the Snake Roberts, man. I had to say, out of all the induction speeches, his was probably the one that hit closest to home. Not because like I have a self-destructive lifestyle, because I don't, but just because he actually came out there and was like, "Look, I know I've messed up, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I want to give thanks, and I want to give you, the future of the WWE, some advice so that you don't do the same mistakes that I did." And you had to respect that. You know what I mean? It was very compelling. He really made you feel like what was going on. I was engaged. Like it was one thing when I heard Lita speak. Lita took up a good chunk of the beginning, and she pretty much spoke about her journey to becoming a wrestler, which was kind of neat. She gave a couple of shout outs and whatnot, Arn Anderson and Rey Mysterio in particular. But after that, when Jake the Snake came on, I was just like, wow, like that, like it touched me right here, because here you have a man that started with a great career. You know what I mean? He was awesome on the mic, good in-ring competitor, but then he fell on hard times. And that can tend to happen. Nowadays the WWE or just wrestling in general, they have policies to prevent things like this from happening anymore. But back then, during their era, some of these wrestlers were unfortunate in that sense that they didn't have like a wellness policy. You know what I mean? They weren't doing all these drug tests constantly like they are doing now. And it really does make a difference, because they see where they messed up in the past and they want to preserve their wrestlers. They want these guys to go on. You know what I mean? So it's it's pretty refreshing to see what's going to happen with the new generation and then the generation after, you know what I mean? And I want to be a part of that. And I'm going to try my very hardest to be a part of that. Just hearing them talk, man, these guys all had valid points. I mean, I think Carlito was kind of a little rude. He kind of felt like he didn't want to be there, which I'm sure he probably didn't. But, he was there for his dad. His dad had his moment. So it was pretty cool just seeing their dad get acknowledged. Somebody from Puerto Rico. I'm actually half Puerto Rican, so it was pretty neat to see my people sort of get acknowledged and whatnot. But I mean, honestly, it was a really good induction overall. I enjoyed Ultimate Warrior coming out at the end and pretty much pouring his heart out, how he felt, when it came to the way he was treated in the business, and him actually acknowledging the people that never get acknowledged, like the people that put the rings together, or the caterers, or just like the merchandise guy. Like all that stuff is pretty neat, because these are the behind the scenes people that create this massive stage for us to sit down and to view and to enjoy. They're the ones that put everything together for our enjoyment. And it is kind of a shame that they never really get acknowledged. I mean, I know they're kind of drones in the grand scheme of things, but at the same time, it's good that they get a little bit of acknowledgement. At least I think so. Overall, it was a good induction. Mr. T spoke as well. Then you had Kane that spoke about Paul Bearer, and he actually did a really good job of breaking down his life, like from the beginning to his end. And Kane is very well spoken, man. Like that guy can talk, and it was just pretty cool. It was also very genuine. It didn't feel scripted or anything like that. Um, they did have a kind of funny segment with Hornswoggle and El Torito. which I kind of thought was a little bit unnecessary, but I feel why they did it, to kind of just add some like comedy relief on what was going on because there was a lot of heavy stuff going on. You know what I mean? Like it just borderline like emotional and like heartbreaking even. So to throw a distraction like that, it wasn't bad. And then having Undertaker come out with the urn and like acknowledge Paul Bearer towards the end, like that was very theatrical like they always do, but it was good to see that at the very least because now we know, okay, we were all wondering if he was going to come out at some point, and he did. I mean, his actual real life sons came out, but one of them didn't even speak, and the other one was just like, okay, like we're here, let me say the line, and let's go home. And it's whatever, at the very least, his kids got an opportunity to get on the stage. Overall, it was a good event. I enjoyed it, and tonight, we're gonna watch WrestleMania. So, with that said, I just want you to enjoy it. I hope you don't miss it, and stay tuned because I will actually be giving some predictions later on. Peace.